Welcome back to the NAO show. It is June, our second show? First show? Who knows? But the boys are back in town. We got everybody here. We got Marky Mark and we got Mike. How you guys doing this week?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Good to be back. I'm happy to be back.
Well, we're happy to have you back there, Mike. It was when Marky Mark and I are the only ones here, the train goes off the rails, as they say.
Yeah, I need help keeping Sean on the track, man.
Crazy man. All right, let's get into it. So last week we finished up our 2-episode series on ranking our teams. It was not us, Goofy. Don't hold it against us. Maybe you should have drafted another quarterback. I don't know. We'll just throw that out there. This week our fantastic co-commissioner here, Marky Mark, is gonna do a little schedule launch for the 21 season. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, should be. I'm looking forward to it, getting out there and letting everybody see it.
There's some scuttlebutt going around the league that there might be a rivalry week this year there, Mark. Mark, got anything to say about that?
Yeah, we definitely have that. That was Ian's concoction, and he made it work. He helped out a lot with the schedule, and I was ready to scrap it if he couldn't get what I wanted on there, but he really wanted it bad, and he made everything work the way I wanted, with the top 5 playing each other twice and the bottom 5 playing each other twice, and he got his rivalry week in there too, so it all worked out. So.
All right, let's before we hit the schedule, we're going to talk about a couple trades that I'm pretty excited about. Let's see that first one, Mark.
All right, first trade involved Silly Dilly and the Underdogs. So
Ooh, this was a good one, let me tell you.
Oh boy.
Don't get me started. All right, here we go. We got Silly Dilly. Dylan, he received Kendrick Bourne, and the Underdogs received a 2022 second and a 2022 fourth. Both of those were Dylan's picks. Mike, you want to start us off on that trade?
This is one, for one, I just think flat out he overpaid. I think he spent too much for Kendrick Bourne. And then I guess I also, even if you take the values away, I'm not sure why you make the trade. I'm not sure you needed Bourne. I'm not sure, if you're going to, I don't think you're going to start him. I don't think, I think you're just collecting Pokemon cards that are New England Patriot players at this point in the season already. So I think the second round pick is going to be more value to you. It's not a.
Sean's still laughing over there.
It's not.
He liked your Pokemon reference, man. Yeah, I mean, do you? I think. What is your opinion? My opinion is that on the Underdogs roster, Kendrick Bourne was at the bottom. He's like maybe one of the first men up to cut.
Oh yeah,
You agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Sean, can you compose yourself for a minute?
Man, if I was collecting Pokemon cards, I would want Charizard, not freaking Caterpie over here. This is what he got in this trade here. You know what I mean?
Way to keep it going.
I really think he definitely overpaid. I think Mike hit the nail on the head,
Oh, he said it right.
I think there's a bunch of value you could have gotten in the second round that would be probably used a hell of a lot quicker. I mean, yeah, I understand where he's coming from. He's expecting him to turn into the new Edelman, but he also doesn't have Tom Brady throwing the freaking football to him. So I think that, yeah, Mac is going to be good. I think he's going to do fine. I don't think he's going to be Tom Brady because there is only one Tom Brady. So I think he drastically overpaid.
Yeah, I get a bad rap sometimes for the guys because it seems like I'm always negative on trades for one team or another, one manager or another, But yeah, the competitor in me looks at this trade and says, "Man, why did you do that? Because you you're getting a guy who's projected as probably a wide receiver 4 or 5. I'm not sure exactly where he's going in ADP right now, but he's going to be around a wide receiver 4 or 5 projected. Um, I don't even know if there's enough upside to try to get him in the wide receiver 3 conversation.
Well, let's think about that upside. If he was a wide receiver 5 or wide receiver 4, if he even made wide receiver 2, that is a drastic upside to where he's at, right? If you were to draft a wide receiver in the 2nd round, you're expecting that guy to make that move to wide receiver 1 sooner or later, right?
To get he's going to have to be probably at least a wide receiver 3 to get any value out of this trade. Of course, I don't like it either. I wanted to name off the 2nd round picks in our rookie draft. I look at him and I say, there's nobody there that I would take Bourne over. I would take all these guys in the 2nd round over Bourne. Let me know if you guys disagree. So we had Trey Sermon, Rashad Bateman, Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kenneth Gainwell, Kadarius Toney, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Pat Freiermuth. Anybody there that you would take Bourne over?
No. Because that's the other thing about upside and now talking about rookies is Kendrick Bourne. You know what player you got. You're talking about you taking a shot on a guy in the rookie draft. What's behind door number 2 could be a boat.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
And I think half of those guys in round number 2 could have easily been moved left and right and been in round 1 easy. There's guys in round 3 that I would take over Bourne.
Yeah.
But I think it was a tough trade to see come down.
I don't think he was desperate for a receiver. And to me, if you want to take a known commodity over somebody in the 2nd round, you had to be desperate. I don't really think he was desperate. He's got some good young guys on a squad there. It seems like a homer move. It's a Patriot. He tends to like the Patriots, and it seems to me like that's kind of the bottom line. Is maybe he was reading some OTA hype and getting excited about Bourne. So
I love overhyping preseason stuff, though. Let's do that more often.
Mike is here for the overhype.
Helps make those trades, doesn't it?
Trevor Lawrence hurt his hamstring. I don't know if you guys saw that. So Tim Tebow, quarterback 1.
That's why they're not going to give him away for nothing. All right, let's go on to the next trade, guys. Our newly named, I'm going to call him Zoidberg. I'll give it the short version.
Zoidberg.
Certainly. And I don't know what we're going to call this guy now. We'll call him Steele for now. But
until we come up with a better name.
Yeah. So Zoidberg received Tua Tagovailoa, DeAndre Swift, and a 2023 4th rounder. I believe that was Ian's, right? I didn't write it down. That was Ian's 4th rounder?
I think it was team 3. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, that was Ian's 4th rounder.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Ian received Justin Herbert, Michael Gallup, 2022 1st rounder, which was originally Sean's, and a 2022 3rd rounder, which was originally the underdog. So, Mike, let's hear what you got to say about your trade.
This one, I sent away Gallup and Herbert, who I love having on my fantasy team. It was more of a utility kind of a trade. It was something that just had to be done. Obviously, 1 quarterback league. We've beaten the whole thing to death about having Mahomes and Herbert. So Herbert definitely became a luxury for me. Obviously this last week, I've made quite a few trades here. I feel like all of them have gotten better, and this one sort of, aligns with what I've been trying to do. I try not to think about that I lost, potentially someone like Herbert. I like Gallup's upside and stuff. I try to think more of it as I traded Gallup, who was on my bench, Herbert, who was a backup, a 1st round, and I got, Tua, who's going to be a fine backup. But, it's not going to be Herbert, but, I can slide him in. That's going to be fine. and DeAndre Swift, who there's a lot of opinions on Swift, what you think about him. So I think what you think about Swift is what you think about this trade, but he's a guy that I feel comfortable putting in my starting lineup and really shoring up that flex. So
You're a guy after my own heart. I think you really did it. I think you listened to me. You shored up that last flex spot, and I love this trade for you, Mike. Like, I think you said it exactly how you should have been thinking about it. Gallup was on your bench. He was a fill-in depending on the bye week, and you're hoping for the upside, but his upside is if he gets traded, and you never know where he's going to go. Herbert was I think having Herbert on your bench was hurting you because there's so much. You could have moved him like you did here and shore up another position like running back where you needed the depth. And first round pick for a good every week starter like Swift. I actually think this trade was good for you, but not only was it good for you, but I think it was smart for that other guy because he didn't have any picks in 2022, and now he's got a third and a first, which will be a very late first if I have anything to say about it.
That's why it was yours. That's why yours was there. It's all in your hands now.
I'm going to try my damnedest to make that a 10th pick in the first round. What do you think there, Mark?
Yeah, I like this trade for both sides. I'm not going to be negative on this one for any one side. I think I like it a little bit better for Mike, but I know what Ian was doing there. I think with the Rodgers situation, he needed to get some insurance, and Herbert could be a good one there. I still want to see more from Herbert, and I still look at his finish down the stretch, and I'm not 100% convinced on him, but he certainly has an arm and had some good moments. And if he can build on what he did last year, I think he's going to be a good one. I'm not 100% on him yet, but I'm there. I got one leg. That second leg's coming over the fence. I'm still on the fence, but that second leg's starting to come over on him. So I love Gallup. I got him in another dynasty, and I agree with you, Sean. If they trade him, or he won't be traded. He's in his last year. I was hoping he'd be traded this year. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. I hope someone gives him a good contract next year to make him a little more active in somebody's offense because he's really good. He's just kind of buried there. Unfortunately, he's probably the third option most times because they got him out there on X and they're just trying to get deep balls to him, and it's not always there. So Ian got a couple of picks, so that was good for him. I think Mike got him at a good time because he's motivated to get some picks to get a quarterback in there. Swift is a really good young running back to have.
And Swift was RB4 for the other guy, so he wasn't giving up a whole lot. He was giving up some depth.
True. Yeah, he was giving up probably his fourth best running back. So it was somebody expendable for him, and just fits in nice on Mike's roster for sure. I think we can't ignore the fact that Jamal Williams is there, and it could be a little bit of a committee, but Swift is definitely the most talented back there in Detroit. And so I think this new coach is going to be the old-fashioned ground and pound kind of guy. And so I think there could be enough work for both of them. But I really like Swift. I think he can emerge as the top back there. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Kind of said two things that are interesting quick. For one, I think the whole 3 down, back not being a committee kind of thing, it's almost just disappearing completely.
Yeah, I agree.
I think now it's more of I'm not looking for the 3 down back. I'm looking for just the 1A everywhere.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And but yeah, that 3 down back sort of kind of become an old school fantasy thing to chase. That
very true.
I don't think there's any left. Maybe Zeke probably, but Pollard looked pretty good last year. Dalvin Cook, maybe a 3 down guy.
Henry maybe.
Yeah, Henry definitely. Yeah,
they're out there, but now we're going to 17 games. They might be going to 18 games. You got to conserve them. So I think you're right, Mike. We're starting to see a trend here where you hope to get the best of the two that are in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because, not to sound like a homer, but Tampa Bay Buccaneers had Rojo, and they used him pretty exclusively during the season. But as soon as the playoffs hit, Fournette was our guy. Like, and he had fresh legs. He was barely touched during the season, just here and there type stuff, and it really showed, obviously, that he was ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, on paper, I think you won the trade, Mike, but I really think both parties got something they really needed out of it. So this kind of trade I like, because I think as a competitor, I think you both are doing good things to keep competing. I think, Mike, that you maybe, during looking into a ranking show and seeing how low down you were there, I look at the 3 trades that you made here recently, and all of a sudden, I think you've taken a bump up. I think you're not down there at the bottom anymore by any means. I don't think. I think
Nice.
you kind of jumping up there in the middle of the pack. Maybe can threaten if you things go right for
definitely.
you. Yeah, yeah.
The other fun thing about this trade, and Ian, he won't mind if I spill this. The timing of it was interesting that it finished today, because we'd been talking about this. We went back and looked for 3 months.
Oh wow,
3 months of trade talks to get this done.
man.
I think Ian sent me the first message that I had sent, and it was something along the lines of, you have a lot of running backs. Is there any kind of Herbert in the first, and let's work off that for it? 3 months ago.
Wow. I think that's how he got it. I think that's how he got his wife to marry him. He just wore her down over 3 months, all right. You guys want to talk a little bit of schedule?
Let's do it, Commish.
Yeah, we're going to hit some highlights. I mean, it'd be kind of boring just to sit here and go over the schedule week by week, but we're going to start out with week 1, and we'll go over the matchups for week 1, and we'll talk a little bit about that. It's an interesting week because it's rematches for the playoffs from week 14. So we've got Run It Back at That Other Guy. We've got Goofy Jace at McJammer. We've got, it says Frank Beauties, but that's old information.
Yeah, that's old. It's Zoidberg now.
Why not? Why not Zoidberg?
Effin Zoidberg at FNG. Hey, I like that. We got a couple of F words, F bombs in there. We've got Silly Dilly at Humpty, and we've got
Dick.
Yeah, Swamp Dick. Whatever the name du jour is. And we got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the Underdogs. So, who wants to start us off? Let's talk about those playoff rematches.
Yeah, let's jump into this running back 2021 and Steele. Mike, why don't you tell us how it went in the playoffs last year?
The playoffs last year was a high-scoring affair. As we all know, Ian unfortunately won, but he won. He scored 166.5 points.
Wow.
And he beat Aaron, who scored 147.72.
Wow.
Which those were the 2 highest scores that not only that week, but in most of the playoffs, if I remember right. But yeah, this was a high scoring thing going on last year. So a lot of changes in their teams from then to now, but I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring affair week 1 coming right out of the gate. They're just going to pick up right where they left off.
I couldn't agree more. I think that other guy is primed to do some damage in the scoreboards. But running back is not any slouch over here. He added Adams. He got Hunt to back up Chubb, but Hunt's a freaking RB 1B, as we've been saying, I think if if I can coin my own phrase, if Avon can sure up those flex spots there.
There it is.
We can we're gonna see some fire week 1, game 1. What do you think there, Marky Mark?
Yeah, they had Ian was obviously picked as number 1 in our rankings, and Aaron was down there at number 5, but it's not like there's a whole lot separating the two teams. So I do like Ian's squad. I hate to say it, but he's he's a running back down, and that's one less guy to put in there. So things can happen. Things can happen in these things. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think Aaron he's in the win now mode and did some things to try to bolster that starting lineup, and so he can make a little bit of noise. We'll have to see here. We'll have to see. Mostert might not be too bad early on. I don't know if I would, with his injury history, it's hard to say if he's going to hang in there or not. But he might do something for him early on in the season. If he stays healthy, he's definitely a good flex. So that's one where I think he's okay in the flex, but that one's been a little bit iffy on him. So on the other hand, I got to work on Monday after the first round of playoffs, and Goofy had my ass gift wrap for me. Handed it to me in a nice ceremonial way.
Well, we're going to figure out how you're going to pay him back in week 1 this year.
Yeah, I got my ass handed to me. If you hadn't caught the analogy I was going for there.
With a nice little bow on top.
Fortunately, there's no postseason Miyagi's, because that would have been my first. I think. No, I got.
No.
I did get a Miyagi. I had a rough stretch run there, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing him again, because new season. Everybody coming back in healthy, hopefully, and no CMC for me, but got Cam Akers in there. Got Chase, so I'm hoping starts off good out of the gate,
Just a little backstory on Chase, a little OTA hype train coming through. Joey B and Chase have been sticking around after practice to get their throws in line.
The timing down.
Yeah, just so you guys know.
Yeah. It's hard to. Can't take much of that stuff serious this time of year, but I'm certainly high on Chase and picking him at number 2. I'm counting on him to be a big contributor, hopefully right away. So
if they get their timing down anymore, Joe Burrow is going to be able to throw the ball, and Chase isn't even going to be left the starting line yet, and he's going to know exactly where it's going to hit. They're going to be scary good if they're anywhere close to LSU 2019 national champions.
Yeah, Goofy's going to be good again. I think he's got a good roster. He kind of lucked up with I think guys like Jamal Williams going to Detroit, and then Gallman going to San Francisco. He's a couple of guys that were kind of on the fringe. Maybe could do a little bit of something this year. He's still looking good though. You look down through his lineup, and he's got he didn't have the injuries last year, so that was a big part of his success. It wasn't necessarily deep, but he didn't need to be last year. So we'll see how it goes this year on that front.
So, Mike, do you want to talk about your week 1?
Well, we just talked about how great my team looks. So I'm going to, I feel pretty good going up against a team that doesn't have any starting running backs, since I just traded for, a pretty good one. So I think, going into week 1, if I had to put my confidence level anywhere, it's pretty good. It's pretty up there.
It's around this area right here, right above the head.
And if I lose to Darrell Henderson, you know what? I lose to Darrell Henderson, but I don't think that I'm going to.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if
Fire.
Either one of those guys is going to be in the starting lineup when the.
And if Le'Veon Bell signs somewhere, then maybe he'll score some points. But
yeah.
If he's playing football in the NFL, that would be fantastic. That'd be a step in the right direction. Well, yeah. I got to talk about my matchup, and I get to play the number 2 ranked team in the rank show.
Right. Yeah.
And it's no easy out, to say the very least. I'm going to need some guys to overproduce a little bit, and I am going to need them to kind of come in low. So we'll see week 1.
I think that's an interesting one because obviously the underdogs got better, but so did you. In the offseason, you guys both have made some fun moves, some big moves and stuff. And I think that can be a fun one. I think that one, I haven't looked at matchups and stuff, but I know that's the kind of a week where you worry about your matchups specifically more than usual. So.
Yeah, if CMC can keep it under 25, I'd be happy. I'll write him a thank you note. All right, let's go ahead to the rivalry week.
You skipped one there, though. We skipped one there, buddy. We didn't talk about Silly Dilly and Humpty.
Oh, they're gonna play football this year?
Yeah. So,
all right.
Those are the bottom. Were they the bottom 2? They were the bottom 2. So, of course, Humpty has taken over that roster, and it doesn't look anything like it was when it was in the bottom 2. We got Diggs and Henry on there now, players of note. I like, Dylan's got a good young team. John, you and I were talking about how we thought Dylan might be a year away from being pretty good. I think his roster needs to mature a little bit. What do you guys think about
definitely. He's gonna need. I think he needs. If his rookies really overproduce, he might be pretty good this year. But he needs those rookies to really jump out of the normal what you expect from a rookie. But I think next year he's going to be pretty solid. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think Humpty's in a win now mode a little bit. He got all those picks, and then he traded some of them and got players. So he's got with Henry in there and Montgomery, got Diggs, like I said, held on to CD Lamb. Stafford starting the quarterback. He's got Corey Davis, Zach Moss there that he got from Mike. It's got a pretty good lineup now. I think it's looking better than it did several months ago. So kind of excited to see what he's going to do this season with that. Definitely. So it's going to be fun. Can't wait, man. I know we're all anxious to get it going. Yes, Humpty sent that gift the other day of the baby sitting there,
I think everybody could relate.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. All right, Sean, take us to rivalry week. We'll go.
All right, where we go. We're jumping on that train. We are going to rival week 7. Week 7, you are going to play your quote unquote rival. I think it's fair to say that everyone knows who I'm going to be playing in week 7. I'm glad he just traded away Swift. I enjoy that. What is funny about rivalry week is that him and I both are going to have to really stress our teams and go to some depth spots, because in week 7, I am down the man, the myth, the true rookie of the year, Justin Jefferson. And my boy, Amari Cooper, is going to be gone too. But he, if I am correct, he's going to be down a couple key players too, which will be interesting. He's going to be down the cook, the chef, and Herbie fully reloaded.
Okay. Well, if Rodgers plays, he's okay there. But if Rodgers doesn't, then yeah, his top quarterback just gone, right?
That's not it. That's not all, folks.
That's not all.
I won't have to deal with DJ Chark blowing me up after trading him, or Johnson at all. So they'll all be gone on week 7. So, it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's lucky that you don't have to play Chark, because usually those things come back to bite you on the hind parts,
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah. Well, if looking down the rest of the lineups in rivalry week, I've got Goofy Jace again. So we just talked about that one. No need to talk about it again, I don't imagine. But I guess we're rivals because we work together. It's a work competition and a fantasy competition.
And he waxed that ass in the playoffs last year.
Yeah. I mean, I got to give him credit. He hasn't given me too hard a time about it. I think he felt sorry for me. Maybe, maybe the pity is worse than the just trash talking, man. Yeah.
Maybe he's just disappointed in you.
Yeah, I definitely. I want to win those matchups. I got him twice, and I want to win those matchups because that one hurt. I think I did beat him. I beat him in the regular season. That was a fun one, but he beat me when it counts. So, all right, you got the underdogs at Humpty. So I guess that's a natural rivalry.
I cannot wait for the trash talk leading up to this matchup. The gifts that are going to be flying back and forth is just going to be pure gold. I'm just saying.
Maybe he'll start putting Evan's face on more pictures than mine. So,
Mother Teresa.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun one. That'll you and your matchup with Ian and that matchup will be real fun that week to see a lot of the trash talking going back and forth. And we've got Zoidberg, FN Zoidberg at FNG again. Mm-hmm. So you play each other in the first week and you play each other as rivals. So tell us why you're rivals there, Mike. I can't remember exactly.
Well, it's a long story, and I don't think we have quite enough time to get all the way into it. But I do have an interesting tidbit about this week. It's week 7, as we know. And if you check my starting lineup in week 7, Zeke is out and Eckler is out. So I'm down to no starting running backs, which makes it equal this week. Wow. So I might not put anybody in. Who knows? I might go that route. Yeah.
I'd have to get you for tanking though. So
is it tanking if he wins with nobody starting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have Rod Smith in. Yeah, maybe Rod Smith. I'll pick up somebody on waivers.
Hot girly, baby.
Yeah, there you go. Fingers crossed.
He's looking for a job. Oh wait, that's actual NFL news. My bad.
Yeah. Well, our last matchup for rivalry week is Run It Back 2021 versus Silly Dilly, and we haven't really figured out why they're a rivalry. I think it's basically because they were the last 2 men standing. So
battle of the nice guys.
In my head, it's that they trash talk nonstop in chat or like private chat. They just go at it nonstop. Yeah.
Maybe we can stir something up. We'll try to get something started between them.
I heard Silly Dilly was talking mad shit. Shit.
Yeah. Ooh, we talk about you like that.
He hardly has any Patriot players.
Oh man.
You can't win with a lineup like that. You don't even have any Patriots guys? Golly, what are you doing over here?
Well, real quick, just we did the schedule the way we did so that the top 5 play each other twice and the bottom 5 play each other twice, trying to do some parity kind of things. I'll be getting the schedule official. I'll start working on it this weekend and try to get everything switched up so that we've got the official matchups on there. We can start looking ahead and making our evil plans.
I feel like I'm being talked to here.
Yeah, you've been asking for a couple of weeks now for the schedule, so you finally got it in your grubby little paws. So we'll get it official on the site. It's not much to talk about the schedule. It's fun to see that we got it ready, and we'll get it on the site and kind of one step closer to the 2021 season.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last bit. We've already done the draft. We've already talked a bunch of shit, but we're not done doing that yet. There's still a whole season of that. I can't wait for the Mike and FNG to start talking some crap over on chat. That'll be fun. Well, that's our show for this week. Next week, we might talk about something else. So you should definitely tune in. If you're not watching this episode and you're listening to it, you should go back to the Pokemon reference and watch me just bust a gut because that's hilarious. Prime television. And if you haven't remembered from last week, Ian, you suck.